Like, let's be honest, Jalen's not as good as Tatum, right? I don't think he is, but Jalen closed the gap a little bit this year, and especially after these playoffs.
I mean, it's always been the same thing with them too. Like Tatum is better talented. Tatum has better numbers. Brown is close in both of those categories, but what gives Brown the edge is his mentality. Brown got that dog mentality. Oh, hell nah.
Welcome to another edition of Hits and Hoops. I'm Tyler, as always, and I'm with the one, the only Dixon. What's good, Chicho?
What's popping? What's good, ladies and gentlemen?
Today's show is solely on the NBA Finals. One of the best times of the year, one of the most funnest times of the year. A new NBA champion will be crowned. And then
First
after
time
that,
champion.
and after finals talk, we're going to get into deeper than sports. But before we begin, let me make sure to tell everybody like, subscribe, comment, follow on Apple, Spotify, TikTok, IG, and YouTube. Also, if someone wants to join us on a show, please feel free to reach out. We're more than happy to have anybody from any kind of walk of life that just wants to chop it up. I'm gonna get right into it, Dixon. Mavs and Celtics. It's been very hard not to talk to you the last couple days since this is wrapped up about this. We've talked, but we haven't talked about this. 2024 Finals, Mavs and Celtics. I'm going to start with the Celtics on my end. You are literally wearing a Celtics outfit, which is blowing my mind right now. It is the throwback. The throwback.
Hey, this
Yep.
is a rare piece. You will never literally, let me tell the viewers, y'all will never see this piece anywhere. Y'all won't find it. Y'all won't see no one else wearing it. Y'all won't see it on the gram. It's one of those.
One of one. So the Celtics, they went 4-1 against Miami, 4-1 against the Cavs, and 4-0 against the Pacers. They went 12-2 in their postseason. Miami, let's be honest, even though it hurt, they took care of us. We had them in. We were close 2 games, other than the game, but they pummeled the Miami Heat. The Cavs, they were in it. There probably 2 games. As soon as Mitchell went out, you already knew that shit was done.
Series is over.
Pacers after game one, it was pretty much, the Pacers gave him a good shot, sending that game to OT. JB with that big shot. That was a
Their
big
heart was
shot.
broken after that game
He,
one loss, after that game one fumble. It was hard for them to come back after that. And then
and
Halliburton went down.
doing all this without Porzingis, their X factor, to be such a dominant team throughout the season.
Yes.
To me, I think Miami's physicality might have hurt him a little bit. That's what it seemed like, but I
Beat them
think
up a little bit for sure.
a little bit. But I think they also played it really smart by just letting him rest. Like I believe, in my opinion, I think he probably could have been come back, but I think going 12-2 without him is pretty damn good.
Yeah, they were
Pretty
able to
damn
take
good.
their time.
As of right now, the Celtics are the favorite, and I can see your direction that you're going in.
Right.
The Celtics have been dominant against lesser teams, let's be honest, without their star players. That's not their fault, but I'm just saying it's a factor. It's not their fault though. But they have come in clutch. The two Jays have come in as both top 15 players. I will this has been the best Jalen Brown I've seen. And I will give it to him because I did not think he could actually. I thought last year was probably his peak. But the way he's elevated his game, I am nothing but impressed. And I was wrong about JB. He's been a huge factor to that team. You agree on that?
Yeah, JB been him on and off the court.
Going into Tatum, I think the Tatum slander needs to fucking stop. He wasn't happy for JB because he didn't win the Eastern Conference Finals. Yo, these guys have been to so many of these. Why would he be butthurt that his running mate won it?
I mean, and that award really don't mean shit. Eastern Conference Final Player of the series. That don't really mean nothing in the grand scheme of things. But I do like whatever friendly competition may exist between them, I think is healthy. I think Wade and LeBron
I
had
think
it. I
sure,
think Jordan
yeah,
and Pippen had it. I think Kyrie and LeBron had it. It's very healthy. And, if you've ever had friends that competed with you, whether that was in jobs, sports, school, anything, it was a driving inspiration to have someone close to you that's just as good as you, if not better. And then you can, make each other better, push one another. So I think that's one of the best things they got working for them.
for sure. I think you're spot on. Another big factor is Derek White becoming like 5 levels up of what he usually does. His shooting, his scoring, the matchups that he's exposed
So look,
offensively
Derek
and
White cut off
defensively.
his hair and got plus 10 every attribute.
Amazing.
And real heads know like this NBA series, if we learned anything, it was that Popovich system never fails. We had two players from that Popovich system. One of them is who we're talking about right now, Derek White, and then the other player was Kyle Anderson on the Timberwolves. Two players that were pivotal in their team's deep playoff success, and both from that Popovich tree, just players that know how to play in crunch time moments.
Moving on to Holiday. As a third or fourth option, it seems unfair to other teams. He's so good on the defensive end, and then when this offense isn't rolling, when it's not really clicking, he'll come in and get a couple buckets. But he's still so solid on defense, where he can guard your 1 through 3.5. And it
Yeah, no,
seems like
he's still
such an
locked down.
underrated factor of this team.
I mean, my whole thing is like, remember the Celtics went to the finals 2 years ago. To
Yeah.
me, this is that same team, but way better. This is that same
Yes.
team with Porzingis, Drew Holiday, and Derek White now. They might have had Derek White during that playoff run, but you know what I'm saying. I think it's like that same team in terms of like the nucleus, the foundation, and then they just added phenomenal pieces. But can I go? I
I mean,
mean, you see me wearing the green. You see me wearing the
I've
green.
been
Can I
trying to go
go?
back and forth, but you're just
Can
there.
I go?
Go. I'm waiting.
Look, man, Celtics in six. That's all I gotta say. Hey, people want to talk about the Celtics playoff run. They've been playing injured people. Hey, how about we look at the entire season? Why are we looking at the last month or two as a sample size? We don't have to do that. We have a very large sample size. We don't have to look at the last few recent games. We don't have to have recency bias because I've seen the Mavericks all year and I've seen the Celtics all year. Celtics have clearly been a better team all year. They've been actually a better team than the rest of the league all year. Historic point differential in terms of average for points difference in win percentage and all that. Historic numbers. 64 win team that's been there before. I think that what makes them different this time, what makes me jump on the bandwagon this time is they've been there before. And I think that first time they took it for granted. Meanwhile, the Warriors didn't. You could tell the Warriors really smelled blood from game one, second one. The Warriors, you can tell they were on one. You were like, oh shit, like they came mad aggressive. I remember that whole finals, the Warriors came through mad aggressive every game and they won it by halftime. Just in terms of aggression, just in terms of like
Taking advantage of the
attitude.
moment. Yeah.
Exactly. Engaging the moment. Exactly. Being in the moment, taking advantage of the moment. And I think this time the Celtics are able or will be able to do that. I think this time Jaylen Brown's going to say, yo, fam, Jason Tatum, I don't care what you're doing. I don't give a fuck if you're struggling or not. I'm gotta go get me a chip. I gotta do this for me, fam. And I like that. I like that. Like both of them superstars are on some like, yo, if you gonna ball, I don't care. Like I got a ball. Like it's not like they're dependent on each other. And I feel like, especially Jaylen Brown got the mentality to really say, yo, I need to go win me this shit,
Yeah.
regardless of
Something that I think has been really good for JB is a lot of the matchups where Tatum's getting all the double teams and all the point of emphasis, and he's just exposing. Like, I mean, Tatum and him are so connected where they know each other where they're going to be at. I mean, and he's definitely. I mean, he averaged what 32 last series. I mean, that just doesn't
right.
happen, and even like I was saying, Tatum slander, like JB excelling, and like this is what you want. Like, let's be honest, Jalen's not as good as Tatum, right? I don't think he is, but Jalen closed the gap a little bit this year, and especially after these playoffs.
I mean, it's always been the same thing with them too. Like Tatum is better talented. Tatum has better numbers. Brown is close in both of those categories, but what gives Brown the edge is his mentality. Brown got that dog mentality. Brown got that killer mentality, whereas Jason Tatum is more of a nice guy, very well spoken, very media trained. So that's what I feel like is makes them more even than what people think.
It's been fun to watch. But this key for them winning is the unicorn, Porzingis.
Porzingis.
What's he going to look like when he comes back? How's the flow? How's the rhythm? I think it's going to be like seamless because, like I said, I believe he's been okay. So he's been practicing with the team. That's my thought. I don't have any evidence or whatever, but I think we only always know a tip of the iceberg when it comes to what information we're given as, in the media and stuff like that. So I think he's going to be seamless, but what if it's not? What if it's clunky? What if
Hey,
the physicality fatigues it?
on the contrary, I'm rooting for the Celtics and all, but I don't think it's going to be seamless for Porzingis. I think it's
No.
going to be a slow transition. I think it's going to be very rusty in the beginning simply because of the opponent. You got those Twin Towers over there in the starting center and Lively. That's tough to come back on. So I think based on that matchup, it's going to be, tough for him in the beginning. Hopefully he'll start warming up as the series goes. But I trust the Celtics organization to have handled him and prepared him for this moment.
Yeah,
They
I
say
think
he
they're
was full
all.
practice available.
Oh, they did. Okay. Going to what you just said, I think the Celtics are going to show up for this moment. I don't think it's going to be a moment like they didn't play up to the lights. Oh,
Right.
Luka's been here, done this in other leagues. He did it growing up. I think Celtics are going to show up, and I think the only way they lose is really if they shoot themselves in the ass by shooting, 53s, but only shooting, making 10
They've done
or
to themselves. They've beaten themselves over and over throughout the year.
yeah, it's gonna be really hard for the Mavs to win. I don't think it's out of the question, but I do think Celtics have the upper hand. One stat that kind of drove me crazy was the stat that they made it to 6 of the last 8 Eastern Conference Finals, which sounds good, I think, but I think they lost 4 of them. So, oh,
People don't talk about that part.
yeah. So what do I just don't like. It's a cool something cool to say. But to me,
Yeah,
when I
but
hear that, I'm like, okay.
two and four don't sound as cool. So that's good that you highlighted that because people love
And
to
that's
talk
not a
about
hate
the
stat.
appearances, but they don't
That's
like to
not me
talk about the
hating.
wins.
That's not me hating.
No, you just talking numbers right now.
I'm just talking like, yo, this is what this says, and y'all reading it
Hey, you
another
just
way.
talking facts right now. All right, let's do this the right way. Hey, hey, let's do this the right way,
Oh,
brother.
listen, hold on, I gotta go get fresh.
Let's do this the right way, brother.
Oh my god. That's the thumbnail right there. I don't know what you're talking about. Anything else you want to add to the Celtics?
I just seen them all year, and I think the most impressive thing to me is the ball movement and the 3-point shooting. Like, dude, everyone on that team is hitting, and when you got your superstars' willingness to be unselfish and swing that rock around, I think they're very tough to beat. But now we got to go on to the other side because we got a lot of special shit going on both sides. So now we got to go flip the page. We got to go see what's up with Luca and Kyrie. Talk to me.
Dallas Mavericks. First round, they played the Clippers 4-2. OKC 4-2. Wolves 4-1.
They had the opposite route of the Celtics. I
Every
seen a
team was
bunch of
over
memes.
500.
Hey, I seen a bunch of memes. Jason Tatum's walking through, fountains in the jungle, paradise land, marble land, and then you got Luca walking through like infernos, dungeons, dragons. Like they paths is completely different, fam.
Completely. These are all very good teams. At one point of the year, the Clippers were looked out as a lot better than how the year ended.
Yeah.
Kawhi was hurt, yes, But when
No,
Kawhi was playing, he was at half of what he was just because of his injury, not because he's not, you know, his talent's not there. It's just because of his injury. But that's the same old story with Kawhi. For another episode. I can't get into that right now. OKC's a very good team. They were the 1 seed. Okay,
I
let's
think
remember
low
that.
key, hey, I think
It's
they
a
were the
big
best team.
win.
I think they were one of the best, like second best team in basketball all year.
Yeah, I agree with you. And then the Wolves that beat the defending champions, the Wolves that I paid to win the championship like a fucking numbskull, they were handled more than there's not even a word for how much they were
That's
handled.
crazy. Yeah, yeah, they really were.
Cat didn't show up, Gobert got exposed, but the biggest thing
Hey,
was,
cat got turned into a kitten.
yeah, the biggest thing was that Luca became I don't even know the word for it.
Luca became
He
legendary.
became legendary Luca. That's what he became.
Luca
That's what he
legend.
became.
I feel like it's one of those like series that is just like I say, you got special legendary forces on both sides. Like to me, Tatum and Brown, they both Hall of Famers. They both gonna have a historic Eastern Conference run. When you talk about all-time Eastern Conference greats, you gotta throw Ewing in there. You gotta throw Dominique Wilkins in there. You know what I'm saying? You gotta throw Chauncey Billups in there. Certain people, when you specifically talk about Eastern Conference, at the end of the day, you're gonna have to throw Tatum and Brown in the history books in terms of Eastern Conference all-time greats. And then on the Western side, man, the crazy thing is, bro, these guys are even more special. The two on the Mavericks side are more special than the two on the Boston side. You got Luca and Kyrie. You got Kyrie, who is on the greatest hero arc that I've seen in recent times. Remember how down bad he was? People were saying he should retire. Even I was done with him, bro.
Me too. But you've been a diehard Kyrie for a minute. Going back to the shot, I've always really liked Kyrie. Not as
Going
much
back
as
to the
you.
rookie days when he had a mustache in Cleveland before Braun got there.
I mean, that was the you. Yeah, you really wrote ride or die for him. You just held onto your stock a lot longer. So for him to make this spin has been really good to see. But it's like what we've been saying all year. This is the Kyrie we want. Yo, don't say nothing dumb. It's like that friend that you love hanging out with, but he just does dumb shit, and you're like, bro,
Yeah.
why you gotta
He's
go
really just
extra?
shown maturity. It was really been a beautiful thing just to see his maturity, his journey. Man, Kyrie and just how he's done it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think this whole run has just been so legendary. Like, you had one with LeBron, who was like the greatest player of a generation, and now you having a run with Luca, who might be the greatest player of the following generation.
Yo, yeah,
So, but talking about Luca, talking about that white man, talking about that guy.
he could score
It's
on
finally that
anybody,
time. It's
anybody.
finally his time. Like we've been known this was gonna happen though. Once you seen the rookie year, you knew.
Hmm.
And some people knew once they seen all the, EuroLeague champions and MVPs as a teenager. People were like trying to tell me, like, yo, that's pretty special, bro. So, but people still doubted him on athletic. Let's get Trey Young before him. Let's do this and that. But yeah, man, he's just legendary. And I think, what separated him during this playoff run is that defense. I mean, number one in steals. I know he's like number one in every major playoff category, which is insane. Leads
Yeah.
all playoffs in like points, rebounds, assists, steals, a bunch of crazy shit. I haven't even seen that. Even
Hmm.
Joker, LeBron, I haven't seen something like that. Maybe LeBron did it back in the day, but he's doing a LeBron type run, honestly. Uh, so part of me is definitely, rooting for them boys, but like, me, I've been Celtics all year, so I ain't
Yeah,
about to
yeah, you
be
have.
at the head now, Tyler.
No,
I'm
of
almost
course
about to
we're
cash
here.
my ticket, so I ain't about to jump off now.
Yeah, we're here. The biggest thing I think with this series is can the role players continue on what they did last series
It's all about the role players.
with PJ, being such a 3-point threat and a
Hitting the
defensive presence.
clutchest threes every time.
Yeah, his strokes looking real good. Pause. And Lively especially. when he gets those dump ins, his decision making, split second, him being so young, and then his defensive presence,
Yo,
just
shooting
really, really
100% for a playoff series is fucking phenomenal.
what?
That's insane.
100%?
100% for the series.
What the fuck? That's wild. I haven't heard that. That's
Crazy.
wild.
Think it was like 13 for 13, some wild shit like that.
Wow. That's wild. Going back to what you were saying about this team earlier in the season, because they weren't this team, before the All-Star break. I think
Right.
they really became this team at the end of the season and kind of had to gel and,
After
you
the
know,
trades and all that, after the new acquisitions.
right. They really had to find who they were. And it just seems like in every championship team has this, in my opinion. They have, to me, they have some sort of little special sauce somehow,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Everybody's on the same page for one.
Everyone plays to
They
the
play as
everyone
one.
plays better than what they're supposed to. Everyone plays
Everybody.
better than their abilities. Like, yeah, I know exactly
Yeah.
what you mean.
I'll be really interested to see what Luca does, but because no one can guard him. No one. The best defensive players
Hey,
tried
once I
with
seen
Dart.
him take care of the Timberwolves on one leg, I'm like, they don't
He could
get it. You're not. There's not gonna be a better defense in the NBA than the Timberwolves.
no, they
So
were
if
number
you
one.
can get through them, you should be good.
And averaging 31, yeah, you should be all right. You should be good. No one can guard Kyrie. If Kyrie misses, it's on Kyrie because no one can guard him. So
He
the
can
role
get any
players,
shot he wants at any time.
and to me, he has mastered his play style. How sharp he is on every cut. The ball handling is
I
perfect.
know what you
I
mean.
I think I've seen him.
Everything is so like crispy now. Like back in the day, there was a little bit more wildness to it. You know
Yes,
what I'm
it was
saying?
wild. Yeah,
It was a little bit more crazy. Like you might have seen him do some acrobatic shit. Now it's a lot more like this, boom. Like it's calculated. It's effective.
Game 5 was obviously the one that they finished him off, but that performance
Oh, and they blew them out type shit.
when they beat the shit out of them,
When Luca
that
came
was
through a drop 20 in the first quarter.
yep, that game. That was probably the best offensive performance I've seen all playoffs
Right,
because that was everybody was flamethrower
right.
and they sucked the soul out of
Hey,
that
just the
building.
fact that Luca has done that before. Remember when he blew the brakes off the Phoenix Suns in an elimination game? I think it was a game 7.
Hmm.
Just came through and destroyed them. So I'm like, damn, this is what he does? An elimination game, he's just gonna come through and blow your shit out. Pause. That's dirty.
Yeah, let's just hope they don't pull what the Wolves did and made that last uh that last series their championship, you know.
I don't think so. They locked in. You seen Kyrie pregame. He was like, hey, this day Super Bowl. This is just
What
a
do you
regular
think
game
about
for
the
us.
yeah, you're right, you're right. What do you think about the Kyrie Boston aspect?
Yo, thank you for bringing that up. There's a lot of intertwining. There's a lot of storybook. There's a lot of, pieces to connect here. So we got Kyrie going back to Boston. Remember, Kyrie went to Boston when they did the trade for Isaiah Thomas from Cleveland.
I
When
still
he
can't
was
believe they did that.
stupid as fuck. When he did the self implosion on Cleveland, when he just started being everyone's op for no fucking reason. Hey, people came to the building, seeing Kyrie wasn't talking to nobody. They was like, "What's wrong with him?" People were like, "I don't know." They're like, "All right, fuck it."
They're like, "Mm."
So that he was just on some, fuck the world type shit, Christian type shit. Um, and then got traded to Boston and actually had a fucking phenomenal first year. Like people really sleep. Hey, like we gotta make that a segment and our future like flashback moments segments. But that first year Kyrie had with Boston was a phenomenal run. I think they were like the first seed all year. I think that was with a rookie Tatum and a second year Brown. And I think Kyrie got injured during the playoffs. And then that's when Tatum and Brown made it to their first Eastern Conference Finals versus Braun. So, but it was weird because after Kyrie left, he did it to himself.
Yeah,
he did it to himself by saying like, "Oh, if y'all would have me, I would stay here for my whole career. I'm super happy here. You know, Boston's a great franchise. You don't have to do that, fam." But he did that, and then the way that he sold out, it's also how you play. So the way that he sold out his second year, I think they were
Oh, that
playing,
was disgusting.
I think they were
Yep.
playing Milwaukee, and he just
Yep.
sold out terrible during the series. So he definitely left Boston with a terrible taste in everyone's mouth. And then when he joined Brooklyn, and then they went to play Boston one year,
Yep.
there was hella beef. Like he was throwing middle fingers, he was stomping on the leprechaun, like all type of beef. I'm like, oh shit.
Shit.
So the fact that they're re-meeting, I'm like, man, this is personal, actually. This is actually personal. I hope y'all know that. Like they're professionals. They're gonna play it off like just another game. Like
Just another game, bro.
hope nothing but the best for him. He's a great player. No, fam, it's personal. You didn't like that man. He was trying to talk to your girl. Like you don't like him. Like it's fine. It's cool. It's personal. Like y'all been on road together. Y'all know each other's work. Y'all know what each other do. Like we all know each other. Like it's personal. And now let's go to the Mavericks side. Porzingis. He was never
Porzingis.
happy in his time with the Mavericks. He was
Nope.
always complaining about Luca because to be Luca's teammate can be a bad thing. It can be a lot of sitting and watching, waiting, and then you get the ball with the last 4 seconds left to shoot a three. But Porzingis now is on the Celtics, now is thriving and is going against Luca and Mavericks. So it's bad blood on both sides.
Anything you want to add before I ask you your prediction? Oh, you already said it. You said Boston in
Hey,
six.
I started my whole segment with that. I cut straight to the
Wow.
chase. I'm sorry.
I
But you
have
haven't said yours, and you kind of got me. I know you
uh-huh.
say Boston got the upper hand, so
Uh-huh. I do. I do. Having said that, I have Boston in seven.
god damn you. I never thought.
I have Boston in
No,
seven, but I don't want them to win. I want the
hey,
Mavericks
but
to win. I
Tyler,
will be
listen.
rooting against Boston.
Part of me is kind of like, yo, Dixon, that's Luca.
Yeah. You
Like,
seen it? You seen it?
like
Young
I'm
God
starting to
right
get a
now.
little bit of anxiety. Like, okay, hold on. That's a legend right there, fam. That ain't like an all-star. That's a legend right there. So to bet against a legend, it doesn't feel too good. But
Yo,
Celtics
speaking
in
of that,
six, Paul Pierce jersey, you know the fucking vibes. Hey, bees, let's go, fam.
I'm gonna send you. I saw it on Twitter a Wikipedia page of Luca's accolades. Doesn't seem real. I'm gonna
Really?
send it to you. Doesn't, bro.
Already?
Doesn't seem real.
That's crazy.
Five first team All NBAs. Even like it had
Five?
five.
Luca.
Yeah,
So he probably made every time besides rookie year.
yeah. Yo, I'm gonna send it to you. It's crazy. Even his European shit is crazy. It's a laundry list, bro. No, it's a CVS
That boy was winning
receipt.
fucking state championships in middle school and shit.
It was he would bro. He was a professional basketball player in middle school as a 14 year
But
old.
like I said on the other podcast, like if you like I've been listening to a lot of interviews, people talking about Luca, ex teammates and whatnot, and a lot of people say like he don't really like how Kobe was in the gym crazy 60 hours a day. Like nah, Luca's kind of just having fun and they're trying shit, experiments in mid game, and it just
Wow,
happens for him. So he's like one of those where it's like God given, natural, special, fam.
I heard a story. It might have been like during the last round that I think it was Michael Finley. You know how he's with the Mavericks, right?
Yeah,
In the front office. I think he told him during a practice to stop messing around or something like that.
yeah.
And then Luca dropped like 28 like consecutive. And he
In
said
the
there's
practice.
in the practice, yeah. Because he said he was playing around too much or something like that.
Yeah,
But those
exactly.
boys that play a game within the game's game,
That's what I'm
they
saying.
just do it different. It's just
Them
Larry
boys that
Bird.
that play around like jokingly and still are able to compete with while everyone's out there trying their very best. Them boys are dangerous.
Bro, like that story with Larry Bird is like, he told his defender he's gonna shoot lefty, everything left tonight
That
and
whole game.
drop like 40 or something. It's
No,
like
that's a legendary game. That's one of my favorite
it's
games of all time.
crazy.
Yeah, that was
That's
insane.
crazy. So yeah, so I got Boston at 7. You got Boston at 6. What do the Mavs have to do though to win this?
They just got to keep doing what they do, and they got to really notch up on the defensive end because I feel
Yeah.
like no team's going to be able to stop each other. But I just think Boston's overall attack, like if they're all just hitting threes, because besides Luca and Kyrie, no one else is hitting threes. PJ will hit a clutch three, but he's not a good 3-point shooter. They don't really have shooters like that. Meanwhile, Boston got shooters on payroll.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think they've been shooting very well, but I think like you said, they're not shooters.
Derrick Jones ain't a shooter. PJ Washington ain't a shooter. Lively ain't a shooter.
They can shoot, but they're not shooters, like you said.
Yeah, nah. But on the other hand, Derek White, he's more of a shooter. Like Pritchard is more of a shooter. They got a bunch of them. Al Horford, Porzingis, obviously Tatum, Brown.
Yo, do you think Pritchard will ever start in the NBA? Not on Boston?
No.
Because I feel like when he comes in, man, he's a great bench player. Like comes in.
He's really good. No, I
Yeah.
think he's fine. He'll need to
I don't
start.
know. I just sometimes I remember it might have been last year. Was it towards the end of the season? And like he casually just had a triple double. This guy's like 5'10" and
Right.
just and white.
Nah, he's a
But
hooper for sure.
anything else on these finals? Because next time we talk, this show will probably be over.
Nah, man, I think it's gonna be a phenomenal finals. I think it's gonna be super fun. I'm gonna be locked in. Thank God it's no more Western Conference 10 o'clock games over here on the East Coast. That's just
Yo,
tough.
for real.
Yeah,
Yo,
that's just been
yeah.
rough, y'all boys. I know all of us been suffering. So now it's 8:30. Hey man, let's just have fun. Let's enjoy it. Hey Tyler, honestly, bro, since the Lakers got out of it, I've been enjoying these playoffs. Though I don't got no more horse in the race, so I just been able to just enjoy and watch it, you know.
Yeah, for me, yeah, it's as soon as the Heat are gone, I can enjoy
That's what I'm
everything.
saying. Same thing.
Because
Yeah.
then I'm just really beefing with everybody. Like, I admit it. Sue me. But with my team,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna beef with everybody. It's
Oh,
just what
for
it
sure.
is. All right, going to the last segment, deeper than sports. You want to go first today?
Yeah, sure. We'll switch it up. I'll go first.
Okay.
It's funny because we say deeper than sports, but oftentimes I ask sports related questions just in a funky version.
Yeah, you're gonna go for it.
So today's question is like, obviously you're a South Florida native. Your teams are like Dolphins, Heat, Marlins, or whatnot. But I want to ask you, what is your second favorite NBA team, and what is your second favorite NFL team besides those South Florida ones?
Oof. I would say NFL. I don't have one anymore because
Stop, stop,
it
stop,
was Green
stop,
Bay.
stop,
It was Green
stop.
Bay with Rodgers.
So
Now
now
that
you got it with love.
nah,
He-
it's too.
He's Aaron Rodgers' nephew.
Yeah, but it's not Rodgers. It's I like the team and rooted for the team because of Rodgers on there. Now that he's on the Jets, he's dead to me, to be honest.
So you're an Aaron Rodgers fan, not a back Packers fan.
Yeah, I would
Or
root
did
for the
you fuck with the
Jets.
Packers with Favre in them?
Nah, nah.
Okay. So what's the
Uh,
team?
give
Because
me a second.
I look at it like a team that just based on personnel, just based on like culture, just based on like throughout the years, do you like how they've moved? You know what I'm saying? And probably a team that's not in direct conflict with your team. Obviously, no one in like the AFC East or nothing, but something like that.
Okay. I mean, I have beef with every team, to be honest. But if going off of what you just said, I would say Baltimore because of
Yeah.
their like aura. Not that I'm like a huge Harbaugh fan, but just the way they run their organization, and that's the way I think an organization should be ran. Having certain players, certain there. I mean, Lamar obviously helps it, and their logo helps it too. They have a fucking sick logo. That purple and black shit is hard.
What about for the NBA?
NBA right now would probably be Probably be the Mavs just because of Luca. Like I'll watch a Mavericks game because of Luca, and they're not on that late also because a lot of the other guys that I've liked a lot and teams I liked, they've just disintegrated because of the star movement, and some of it has been distasteful for the league, so it's turned me off.
Right.
But with mainly with my teams, it's Miami against the world type
Yeah, no,
shit.
you did an absolute terrible job of answering that question, but it's just
Yeah,
because your Miami bias is so hard, you can't even think outside
yeah,
of that,
yeah. That's yeah,
outside of that number one spot. But for me,
yeah.
it's Baltimore, but like on some real shit, not on some
Oh,
Lamar
okay.
Jackson
Oh,
shit.
that's weird. All
Not on
right.
some Lamar Jackson shit, more on some like Ed Reed, Ray Lewis, Terrell Suggs,
The players that were on the
Luke
team. Okay.
McAllister, them boys, Tony Pollard, all them boys, um, Joe Flacco, Troy Smith. Always
Jacoby
just
Jones, remember
fuck
him?
with the organization. I've been to Baltimore. You could see the stadium when you're driving on the highway. So it's a real grimy city, but the franchise reflects it. So I really got to experience that. Definitely Baltimore. On the basketball side, I would say any team LeBron goes to, that's a given. But I would say like, not because I'm wearing it today, but I've always genuinely had a love for. Now, you know what? Let me be real.
I mean, you were always really a big Paul Pierce fan growing up too.
I
That was
was
your
always a
favorite
big
player.
Paul Pierce fan, but in terms of a team, even though we had direct conflict with him, I was always a fan of what the Spurs were doing.
Ah, okay.
I was always big. I love the way the Spurs play basketball. When Kawhi Leonard was on that team, man, when Kawhi Leonard was having his individual run, when he was the best player on the team, that was one of my favorite teams to watch. Like that
Yeah,
Kawhi Leonard run was special.
yeah.
You know,
And not to mention Tim Duncan,
like when he was in his older
Ginobili.
days and shit. Yeah. Oh, Ginobili. That was a wizard. So yeah, I guess it was just really that big four. I enjoy the Celtics with their big four as well. With Rondo, Allen, Pearson, Garnett. That was amazing to watch too. So I would say those two teams for me.
That's cool. My question is, if you could be an expert in any skill that you haven't tried yet, what would it be and why? So you can't say sports, you can't say, drawing, because that's a skill you already know.
Ay, hijo de puta. Can you go first? Because like I'm
Yeah, for me, it would be I would want to be an expert in playing the piano. That's something I've always wanted to do and always wanted to learn.
I feel that. Yeah, I thought
And
about something like that.
and if it isn't today, if it isn't tomorrow, some point in my life I will be able to play piano. I might be in my 50s or 60s, just being real, but at some point in my life I'll be able to play piano.
That's fire. No, I definitely thought about something like that. Damn, I don't know. I was thinking like, but I like something like piano, something that's more tangible, like that, something that's actually like you do.
Okay,
So
yeah.
I was gonna say like an expert in like astrophysics, but that's like you're not doing nothing. That's like you don't have a skill in nothing. You're just reading a fucking book. So like,
Yeah. Yeah.
man, what about singing?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Yeah.
Is that a skill?
As a talent, you'll be an expert in it. I mean, I would say there's some musicians that are definitely expert singers that are
I
not
was
auto-tuned friendly.
Yeah, no, I always thought singing was super dope, being able to sing. But if not, maybe like cooking or some shit, that'd be super fire. Just
Okay.
being able to whip up like whatever you wanted on the spot.
Yeah, with cooking, I think is really interesting when people can like look at it, the ingredients you have and then just fucking whip it up.
Right?
Like some people need this type and this thing and they need this
So
brand.
that's the difference between a good chef. A good chef could work in any kitchen with any ingredients and it
Yeah.
eat.
I always
Other
thought that was
people
so dope.
they need a specific pan, they need a specific type of sauce, like
Yeah.
facts.
Yeah. Yeah. But all right, man, you got anything else to add to the show? We're all done. That's it. Short and sweet today.
Wow.
Short and sweet.
Wow. Straight to the point, man. Nah, these finals should be very fun to watch. I'll be hitting you up on FaceTime.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. All right, man. Have a good night. Enjoy the finals, my man.
Yes, sir, Ski.